Hello, and welcome to Teaching Tuesday. I'm Heather McGee. Today, we're going to begin our Christmas celebration with the beginning of Advent, which is the time we're waiting, and we're going to make Christmas trees out of scraps of ribbon and stick and pieces of fabric. You can use all sorts of different things, and I'm going to show you some of the things that we're going to use. Are you ready to get started? Me too. Your supplies for today are totally up to you. I have some ribbon. This ribbon is still on the spool. This ribbon, there's some wire in some of it. There are things I've saved off of old packages and whatnot. Some gold. These are strips of fabric that have Christmas patterns on them. They're about 1.5 inches wide. I have a little piece of ribbon here. Whatever you have will work for this project, but the stiffer the fabric or the ribbon, the easier it's going to be to make it. You also need a stick for each one of the projects you're going to make, and a pair of scissors. That's all you need. So let's get started. Our biggest exercise today is learning how to tie square knots. Now that may sound complicated, but it's not really. I'll teach you how. So I'm going to start out with one stick. It's about 10 inches long maybe, and a piece of wide ribbon. This is the easiest thing I think to show you with. And I'm going to cut a piece on this probably about 12 inches wide. Okay, come on down and we'll tie some knots. We're going to slide the ribbon behind the stick. And it's about halfway in the middle. So you're going to take your left side, it goes like this, left over right and right over left. So take the left side of your ribbon over top of the right, tuck it under, and pull it tight. Now, if you leave it that way, the ribbon is going up and down the stick. We need to make it a square knot, so it will go back again sideways. So now we're going to take the right side and go over the left. So here's your right side, up and over top of the left, pull it through, and there's your square knot. Your ribbon is now going the direction you want it to go, which is sideways. See that? Don't worry about trimming it yet. We will trim it in a little bit. Now, if this ribbon right here is in the middle of the stick, like mine is, you can add some more pieces below it and above it. Now, I'm going to save a piece of my gold for the very top, kind of like a star on there. So right now, I think I'll add a piece of this stripy fabric. I just have a big long strip here. Pull off the extra strings on the side there, and we can always cut them off a little later too. I'm going to put this one underneath here. The same way as we did this before, we're going to right over left. Let's cut a little bit of this off. We don't need all of that. Right over left and tuck it under. Before you pull it tight, slide it to where you want it on the stick. There we go. So it's right next to the last one I put on there. So right over left. And now I'm going to go left over top of the right. Now as you pull this through, just twist the knot around so that the design is the way you want it to be. Goodness, there we go. Come on. Pull it tight and it just twists around. Now this one is very long. It's not going to stay that long. How about a piece of this? I think this is off of, I don't even know what it is off of. Some Christmas package I got once upon a time. Cutting about 12 inches off of here and going to put it onto the bottom. You ready to go? So left over right, tuck it under. Make sure it's where you want it on the stick before you pull it tight. And now right over left, fiddle it out and pull it tight. So now you've got 3 pieces on there. You've got 2 that are sticking out really well. I'm going to trim this one off here because it will stick out better. See how that works? That's going to be the bottom of the tree. And just keep working your way up. You can choose whatever patterns you want. You can choose whatever ribbons you want. I think I'll use, let's use a piece of this little green. Add some green in here. Left over right, pull it tight, and then right over left. And pull it tight. Here's another one. Now I realize that these are strange little lengths here. We're going to trim it when we're done. Go ahead and add as many ribbons as you want. As you move up towards the top, leave a little space at the top so we can put a yellow or a gold on for a star. Go ahead and add your ribbons. Remember, left over right, tuck it under, pull it tight. Right over left, tuck it under and pull it tight. I'll talk to you again in a minute. Hello, I'm back again. Now see all the different ribbons that I've tied on there? Ribbons and pieces of fabric. There's no rhyme nor reason to why it's there. I have a couple pieces that are the same as other ones I have on there. I have some that are different. This one had glitter on it. It's actually gotten everywhere, but that's okay. Some regular ribbon. And the last thing I want to do is to put a star color on the top. So I have a piece of gold here. You could use yellow, use whatever color you want. And on this one, I'm going to start on the top, wrap the gold around 2 times so that I come back to the top. Then do one more, left over right, tuck it under and pull it tight. Right over left, tuck it under, pull it tight. Got a little extra gold there. Now, this doesn't really look like a Christmas tree. The shape is a little off. The bottom is not too bad because I was kind of trimming things as I went. But there's some pieces that are just not going the right direction. So this is when you're going to need some scissors and maybe someone to help you if you're a little person. So you might need your adult. So the bottom here is looking pretty good. Christmas trees kind of go this way, don't they? Make a triangle shape. This branch is not going the right direction, so I'm going to trim that so that it's headed the right way. Oop, this one isn't either. I think they just got twisted incorrectly. So we're going to trim them so they go the direction that we want them to. Some of them are kind of straight, some are angles. However you want to put them in there, that is great. My top ones, notice how they're getting smaller as we go towards the top. They start out pretty big at the bottom and then work our way up. So this top one, I'm going to trim this back a little bit also. I'm sorry, I think I had my hand right in front of the screen so you couldn't see. There, see how I've cut that back? And then the star color, I'm going to trim back also. There. Let's take a look. What do you think? It's kind of a fun little Christmas tree to make, since you just need scraps and a stick, and it's a great practice for tying square knots. Left over right, tuck it under, pull it through. Right over left, tuck it under, and pull it through. And now you've got Christmas trees, and you can make as many as you'd like, and it's a good chance to get outside and find some sticks out of the yard. Thanks for joining me today. Goodbye.